Alrighty, we're live with Louise Beattie. Louise, how are you and how is your Tuesday?
It's awesome now. I've just watched the start of this. I haven't stopped smiling. And so, in the spirit of how this has started, it's sundown somewhere in the world. So, Yachida to
There
those
we
who speak
go.
Welsh. Cheers. And
Cheers.
it's good to be here. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. I am a huge fan of you. I have been following you since I got really into Bittensor early on in the summer. I decided I was going to start Tao City. And honestly, I got a little bit of imposter syndrome and didn't start it until now because I was just so overwhelmed with the brilliance and intelligence of people. But when I came across you, it wasn't just that, it was the genuine approach and just the care that you had in the space. And your People of TAO series for me, I'm looking forward to every interview that you do. The fact that you are now doing it on video with your first one with Mike has just been amazing. And I really think that if anybody doesn't know, you guys should definitely go follow her, Louise Beattie on Twitter. You also have your first video is up on Forge and Flourish. And also, you guys, you can go check out her website where she does business strategy. You can reach out to her, potentially do some consulting, all that good stuff. I like to promo you for you. You don't got to pitch yourself. I'll do it for you. It's something here, Luis, that I just want to be the levitator of the innovators, and your show, People of Tao, is just blowing me away. Let's get right into it. How did you discover Bittensor and crypto?
Well, I was aware of crypto for quite some time through my sister and her partner, dabbled, um, not bought much, ended up selling it when I needed to. And then this year I was aware of Siam Kid and I saw his book, bookshelf there, uh, about Get Filthy Rich. A bit, not my kind of title, a bit clickbaity, but I knew Siam and I knew his reputation. And I read that and I was well and truly tau-pilled.
And
Absolutely, utterly tau-pilled.
wow, did it take you long? Like for me it took 24 hours of just pure research. Like I remember staying up all night going, "What is this? What is this?" And this was December of 23, and I just remember by the end of it I was like, "This is it. Like this is going to change. I can't stand centralized AI. I'm a huge just why are we going this direction?" So when I came across BitTensor, it blew my mind. But it took me a while. I'm curious with you, what was the process for you to understand what BitTensor is and where it's going?
Uh, I think it was quite quick. I mean, in the book, Sam lays it out brilliantly, and yeah, it was pretty quick. I obviously did some research after, but yeah, it didn't take me long at all. And then I was thinking, right, I need to get some money in here. So I drew down my pension over. Luckily, the timing was I was able to do it over two tax years to minimise the tax bill because I had to pay tax on that and chucked it all into BitTensor. Um, that's how thoroughly I was tau-pilled.
Wow.
My pension wasn't huge,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but it was enough. And I also thought s- there was no competition. It'll grow a little bit in my pension, but it's with BitTensor and Tau, and with the obviously the subnets and obviously DTau hadn't been released at that point. Um, there was no competition. It was the leverage you could create, the vision you could create, the potential. Um, yeah, just had me in, and also, yeah, I don't have the luxury of lots and lots of time to really grow my pension. So I also wanted something that was going to do better than a pension. And I hate banks anyway.
Me
So it
too.
was kind of an
Yeah.
easy conversion, shall we say?
Right on. What
Yeah.
were you in crypto before that, or is this like your first? Like, did you follow Bitcoin at all? When did you first kind of understand crypto?
I've understood it for a long time, but I wasn't really invested in it. Um, so my sister and her partner, they've been into it from, I'm not sure when they first got into Bitcoin, probably 2015. So I've always listened to them and followed them. So I was very much aware of it. It just took me a little time to get there and find the right thing, I guess.
Were you trading a lot beforehand? Like, how was your approach with crypto? Just learning.
Just learning small investments with. the intention of holding and um, withdrawing it when I needed some cash. Let's face it, we all do it.
Right.
And yeah, I wasn't a trader, never a trader. I have been lately, probably where I lost all of my TAO. Up until then, I was very, very happy holding, even though everything had gone down. I was thinking 3, 5 years time, so I was quite comfortable with that. But then obviously I managed to get back on my feet with the generosity of the community. And it was like, okay, I've got some, but I'm nowhere near where I am, and this is my pension. So
Mm.
I've become a trader since then, but I'm very much looking forward to becoming more of an investor. And I'm starting to ease into that now. Certain subnets that I'm right. This is for the long term now.
So I don't want to get too deep on it. Bring back bad memories here. I've lost
That's
a
okay.
ton. I've literally gone to bed and woke up with a six-figure loss. That was a huge savings that just went south. Made a bad move. Didn't pay attention. Left something in there I shouldn't have. And that was in 2024. And when I heard about your story, and then Rally is another creator that also had a hack, it hits a spot in me where I go into that moment again where you just everything goes dark. Money isn't everything, it's like, but we treat it so much with so much weight. And I just remember, if it wasn't for my dog, Mr. Bear, y'all wouldn't be hearing my voice right now. It hit me too hard. I went into a space where I was like, I'm done. I tap out. But then I just sat there for weeks on end trying to figure out, this might be a great challenge here. This might bring out something in me that, I just know will be something special if I can recover from this. And so when I heard your story, it really resonated with me to reach out to you and talk to you. And I love that the community started a wallet for you and you're recovering. And I looked up your name, Louise. I don't know if you know this, but Louise can refer to a common feminine given name of a French origin meaning renowned warrior. So
Legend.
you're legend. I don't know if you knew that, but you
I
got
did
it in you.
not. Uh, well, that moment of realization was the most goddamn awful feeling. Um, yes, there's no words for it.
Mm.
And I remember that night lying there, absolute despair, because it was my pension, and thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but I kept telling myself I was holding on to my dog, cuddling my dog, and I just kept telling myself the only thing that matters right now is this moment in time, because that's a circumstance, it's a thing, it's happened. I can't change that, but what I can change is how I react to it. And I'm not saying that's easy. It was very, very hard. Um, but hanging on to that kept me going. And I kept asking myself, what good can come of this? How can I make some good come of this? And I don't know that I've got the answer to that yet. Um, but that's what got me through it. And I think then it was Chairman Tao, Mars Snuff, on X reached out to me, and the support I got from those guys and the Nerds group was amazing, and that really, really helped. And I really surprised myself at how I handled it, how I was resilient, and how quickly I bounced back, or I didn't let myself sink too low emotionally, because if you'd have told me before, I wouldn't have expected that. And so anyone that this happens to, and I do get messages, I would say, you can't change it. Just try and be present in the moment, and with time, try and ask yourself what good can come of this, and try and control your reaction to it, because that's the only thing you can control. Um, and it's a shit thing to happen.
It really
Sorry about that.
No,
But
keep it
this is the
real.
only way to describe it.
It really
It's the
is
only
a
way to
shitty
describe
thing.
it.
Yeah, and I can laugh at the situation for myself as well because I've recovered. I pushed through it. It's a part of my lore, the ups and downs of, having a bunch of money to having no money when I was traveling nomadically. it just, I realized that that's not the factor that dictates, and like you said, it's a choice on how we react to anything, whether you're rich or whether you're broke in the moment. It's how you choose to go throughout your day and how you want to operate. And you've decided to take this into diving in deeper into Bittensor. So Bittensor hacks you in a sense, and you said, no, I'm going to go even deeper here, and now I'm going to start a series called The People of TAO. Can you break down what your vision is with People of TAO and how it's been so far as you've diving deeper into Bittensor and the community?
I don't know that I had a long-term vision. So after my scam, I allowed myself to be scammed. No two ways about it. For some reason, it just felt right to be posting more and more about Tau and BitTensor, and then my X account started growing. It was a new one. I've got an old one that's much bigger that I don't use anymore, and it kept growing. And then I kept thinking back to when I had a photography business. I used to do this series called, I think it was Women in Business or something like that, and it's a very similar premise, but I do headshots of them to promote my portrait photography business at the time. And then I would do these features. And what stuck in my mind was a couple of years after I'd closed my photography business, I met this lady, never met her before, never heard of her. And she said she'd remembered that series and she'd loved it and she used to look forward to it. So I knew that it had an impact. And so somehow I just got this idea, let's do this with people in TAO. There's an awful lot of technical stuff. We want to widen the net. Let's make it more human. And so that's kind of how People of TAO came together. I had absolutely no idea it would get the reaction it has. The people that have given me their time, thank you. You know who you are. Um, I've, I've got 3, 4 recordings, another one to do tomorrow. I've been amazed at the people that have said yes to me. And the response to it. And when people say I've read every one or watched every one, I'm like, really? Well, thank you, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that you're doing
I'm
videos.
just seeing where it goes.
Yeah, that's all you can do day by day. We don't know where BitTensor is going to go. We don't know how long this is going to take, but people are here right now. And the people that believe, that's why I did Tau City. I thought about the power of getting all these people that can comprehend BitTensor right now and see where it's going and are true believers and have the patience to let this thing unfold. And they're there every day. That synergy is, to me, just priceless. I don't care about the price right now. I care about the people. And so I definitely care about the people of TAO and your series. And I think it's amazing. I'll tell you right now, when I watched your first one with Mike, you all suddenly had a moment where you screen shared and you did this and I clapped. I was like, yes, let's add some more graphics to these interviews so it's not all talking head. And the director and me was really, really happy to see that. And so your first one, you're already switching things. You're keeping it together. How often do you plan on doing a People of TAO episode?
Ooh, originally the plan had been to do it once a week, sorry. But I've got a backlog of ones I need to release and to edit. Originally, I hadn't planned on doing video, um, partly because of my dog and interruptions, and partly editing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just live stream them, but my internet's not always 100% reliable. So I'm just going with the flow. I avoided initially, that's why all the first few are written, and there will be a mix of written ones because I hate editing. So um, yeah, we're just going to go with the flow and see how it goes.
Again, that's all we can do in life. And I'm the same. That's why I kind of formed the live version so that I could clip stuff out from this, but just show up. I know that I'll just show up because it's like if I'm researching all week and then show up on Tuesdays, Tau Tuesdays, if you will, and I hope you do, it's one of those things where it's just like, all right, be in the moment, be present with all your information and get it out there. Or else I'd be sitting there all week trying to edit the perfect video by myself, uploading it to YouTube, fingers crossed that it doesn't get copyrighted or have some kind of whatever, and then just wait. And I don't like that. I don't want to be a slave to the algorithm. I want to be in the now with the people, and Tau City is really all about that. And people of Tau and Tau City, they're peanut butter and jelly. I think we got something here. We should definitely continue to keep in touch, and I'll definitely be sending you any guests that I got that you haven't done a People of Tau with. If they have a great story, I'll be sending them to you for sure.
Very much appreciated. Now I'll be very happy to return the favor as well. I'm a great believer. A rising tide lifts all the boats in the harbour.
100%.
So we've got to support each other across the community.
Yeah, I believe that. And I think
And it
don't compete. Just collaborate.
Yeah, we don't have to agree with each other on everything. We can agree to disagree, but we've got a common goal, a common aim, and that's for Bittensor to succeed, and therefore our portfolios to succeed, or if you're a subnet owner, for your subnet to succeed. So we all want the same goal, and we've got to get behind that, even if we don't agree with everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my word for the day.
So I got a little something for you here. So I watched your first episode with Mike. There was a lot of good sound bites in there, and it was one of those where there was a moment. And so earlier I talked about toasties, and we've got
I am dead inside.
we got Mike there. Carell's always there for all of that. But there was a moment where I came across something really special during. You were very conservative with your first one there. There was great smiles. You're a great interviewer, but there was a moment where you said this.
Pretty bullish.
Pretty bullish.
What does that mean? I have no idea.
Well, what do you mean? It means
Pretty bullish.
you're pretty bullish. It's going to be a toasty. It's a left-sided toasty, by the way, which is super rare. If anyone who knows how I do my toasties, and that's going to be on almost every stream when there is a moment where we're looking at charts.
Pretty bullish.
We're gonna get a little pretty bullish. So that's from your very first People of TAO with Mike. That will be on all the TAO City lives.
Oh, I love it.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
I'm glad you translated for me.
Yeah. No, it's
that's
one,
brilliant. I love
it
it.
brought smiles. You have an infectious, genuine approach to how you do things that I literally watched your first interview with Mike, and I was just smiling the whole time. I was like, I got to clip something here. I got to put something in my show about your vibes because I'm all about it. And, let's be real. There's a lot of people that are only Bittensor right now for the profits. And I literally came across somebody, I didn't find the original, but they posted "Make Money Not Friends" with the TAO symbol. And it's not this right here, but it was similar to this saying, "Make money, not friends." I'm pretty sure me and you could disagree with that statement. Why can't we do both here? Why can't we make money and friends? I really think that the currency is friendship and connection right now in this space more than the value of your bag.
Absolutely, especially the way the price has been lately. But great time to buy, as many people are saying.
Not financial advice.
No, absolutely. I don't do financial advice.
Yeah.
The world's too small not to get along. We all live on this tiny speck in the universe. Yeah, we're all insignificant. Let's just get on, and I don't care if where anyone's from. Just take people at face value, and yeah, like I said earlier, you don't have to agree with everyone or even like someone, but you can still be respectful and make money together.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it even better. It's like I'm a big fan of Christopher McCandless. The movie Into the Wild that came out in 2007 really had a huge effect on me. The next year, I sold everything, bought an RV, and went nomadic. And one big saying in that movie that I'm pretty sure is based off of his journals is happiness is only real when shared. And I've lived that moment. I've been isolated miles away from the next human being, having the time of my life. And I get this feeling of like, man, this almost feels selfish. I feel like there needs to be people here sharing this with me. And I'm still happy about my journey when I'm alone. I can be alone and happy, but when I'm with other people and we're all happy, I mean, that's the best happiness you can have in this world, I honestly believe.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. We're wired to be social beings. So yeah, I like my solitude and I like my company. I'm a bit
Right.
Jekyll and Hyde, but life's better when you share it with people. That's for sure.
Amen to that. So on your People of TAO series, you do a lot of questions, and I was trying to figure out what questions could I ask you in return. This will be our first of hopefully many interviews where we have you come back into TAO City and talk more about your Bittensor journey. First, I just got to ask you, what is your favorite movie that really resonates with you that you go back to a lot? I'm curious on that one.
Ooh, it's probably got to be Out of Africa, which when I look back on it now is incredibly dated, but it came out in 1985. I liked Robert Redford, who doesn't, if you're female, and very much admired Meryl Streep. But the reason was I was a venture scout and we had just come back from Kenya where we'd been working in a village for 4 weeks. But during the first couple of days, we stayed in Nairobi on someone's veranda and they had a farm in the hills of Kenya, where they filmed a lot of out of Africa. So we'd seen a lot of the photos from the filming of it. So Kenya was an amazing, is an amazing country. It was a big impact on me. And then coming back and seeing that movie, and I like the score, I like the music, I like the scenery. Just so I guess that's my favorite movie.
Good answer. And that's what was Eye of Africa?
Out of Africa, yeah.
Okay.
It's 1985, so I'm dating myself a little there.
All right. I was 1 year old that day. I think I remember the back there. 85. It was a good year. I was watching a lot of movies like that back then. But I'll take a look. I'm a huge movie
Yeah.
buff, so I appreciate that. And yeah, so it's one of those that I know there's a chance you might interview me at some point, and I've definitely got, a different story for my movie, and we'll go into that down the road. Is there, before I let you go, I would love to see how are you approaching Bittensor long term? How are you handling the flow of information, the changes, just like you get so much that people get overwhelmed. How are you handling your day to day by not only just networking for people at TAO, but also trying to learn and stay up to date in Bittensor? How are you handling day to day in Bittensor?
With great difficulty. it's this torrent of information, and one thing that I've learned is to try and limit your sources of information from business, but you kind of can't do that. So I'm in a couple of I'm lucky I'm in a private group, which is really helpful. I'm in another paid group, which is also helpful. And I kind of try and curate who I listen to, and that changes. It's not easy. I don't have a very good answer for you on that one. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
no
just
worries.
making it up as I go
I
and
mean,
taking a long-term view.
that's important. I think that's very important. And DCA has been a huge thing for me. Every 4th and 20th of the month, I buy TAO regardless of the price. And, when I have liquidity right now, I'm, as a freelance camera op in Seattle, I don't work as much right now, which is giving me time to launch and really, dedicate time into Bittensor as a creator. But as an investor, if you're chasing this up and down right now in the early days, you're stressing yourself out, especially day traders. I mean, those subnet groups that you've probably seen, so many of them chasing every new key swap, new subnet, new FOMO, and then when things don't go right, they either leave Bittensor as if it didn't work, or they just start attacking the subnet creators for not, dev do something because of the price. And it's just like, I look at that and go, man, that's just so unneeded stress. Just take it easier, Don't force the price right now. Just force the knowledge. Keep learning and understanding it. Because if you have 100% belief in Bittensor and you're DCAing for a 4-year plan or a 6-year plan, you're going to sleep like a baby. It's like, all right, ups and downs. I'm still averaging in. I'm getting my bag bigger and I'm learning more and more. And if you're trying to be a subnet creator, like, have you had that moment where once you understood Bittensor, you're like, I've got a subnet idea? Were you starting to think about creating a subnet, or how far are you trying to take it in Bittensor?
I am absolutely not thinking of trying to start a subnet, just because of the complexity. And I've spoken to a few subnet owners through People of TAO, and not that they've put me off, but you're like, okay, there's just no way. And I'm also at a stage in life where I don't want that. But one thing that I think would be a great subnet somehow, I don't know how you would do it, is education. I think education is not designed for our current world. And I think there's got to be a way of decentralizing it somehow and incentivizing it. And it's not something I'm going to spend a lot of time on, certainly not at this moment. And I certainly won't be starting a subnet. But I do think that could be a very powerful use of Bittensor and incentive mechanisms, incentivizing the learning and learning that's useful, not the 3 R's because that's what you do and you're going to go work in a factory.
Yep. Yeah. I last stream I ended up playing a clip from the Tau Pod from James Altucher, and him and JJ were talking about Tau University, and I was like, I like that. And he's like talking about how instead of taking your kid and spending all this money on a 4-year college to teach outdated systems, why don't you dedicate that kid to go into Bittensor and either try to create a subnet or create tools for the subnets or just be in the ecosystem and put 4 years into this space that's emerging towards the future. And I'm like, I'm all aboard on that. I love it. Let's go. And it's one of those that that kind of thinking, you know, I don't have kids right now, but if I did, I'd be raising them outside the box. They wouldn't go to public schools like that. They'd be organic farm raised children. And for me, it's just one that I don't know how I was able to break the indoctrination of the educational system and think outside the box on a lot of levels. I think it's because I hit the road so young in my life and was inspired by all the people I met. But children is definitely something that if we're teaching them the same ways of an outdated system, where are they going to be, especially with AI taking over so many levels, the logical thinking that's needed, the critical thinking, and all the ways of approaching a problem yourself. You're just not wired properly if you're going just to remember something and then regurgitate it to your teacher and sit there all day in class. You know, it's a rough one for kids. So I'm right there with you. And education will be one that I can't wait to see where it goes within Bittensor and what subnet creates that. It's going to be a fun ride. So, well, Louise, this has been amazing. I'm curious, before I let you go, do you have anything else you'd like to say on your very first live stream on TAO City Live?
Oh, that was a question I wasn't expecting.
Nobody ever is.
Yeah. This is where I can't think of anything clever to say, so I won't even try. Just be yourself. Don't listen to the FOMO. Do your own research. Think of this more for mid to long term. And I think we're, you know, don't FOMO into subnets at all. If you're going to invest, do your research. Look at the ones that you believe in what they're doing, because there's some damn good subnets out there doing amazing things. And life's too short to not enjoy as well, and try and be in the present moment. So there you go. That's it.
Hey, well said. You can't beat that. So I appreciate you so much, Louise, for coming on and coming on live too. I'll definitely be interviewing as many people as I can throughout the week, but to have somebody on live and to dedicate the time, especially in the early days of TAO City Live, it means so much to me. So I just can't thank you enough. Can't wait to support and see what you come out with next with the people of TAO. And I tip my cap to you for hanging in there and just rebuilding yourself up from the ground floor on after that hack. It's noble, and I really appreciate your vibes in the space. We need more of you. If we could copy you and maybe get, you know, just 128 versions of you, I think we're onto something here in Bittensor. So, Louise, thank you so much for coming on TAO City Live, and you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll get back to some crazy things. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for inviting me on, and I look forward to welcoming you to People of TAO.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers, Louise. That was an amazing interview. That literally could have been the whole stream, honestly. And if you guys don't know how to follow Louise, take a look here. This is her Twitter account, Louise Beattie. You can follow her there. You can go to Forge and Flourish, which is her website, if you want to reach out to her personally for some consulting or business. And also her Forge and Flourish YouTube page is where she is hosting right now the People of TAO. She has her first video with Mike Grantis that was 4 days ago, already has 242 views. Huge shout out to Louise. She's feeling
Pretty bullish.
Pretty bullish right now on the People of TAO series, and so am I.